Hey, what's up guys, my name is Charlie. Today we're going to be reacting to some more Nostalgia Critic, and it's going to be Stephen King's It. Oh boy, this is going to be very fascinating to see Nostalgia Critic review the Stephen King's It movie. I believe it was like a mini TV series or something like that, and he converted it into like a movie. I think they did the same with like Storm of the Century. Maybe you know the history of the movie better than I do, but I've only watched like the movie, and I'm not really a sort of movie history buff, I'm sure like you are. I've watched the latest movie, It, but I've only seen it once. I'm so sorry, I couldn't resist. Oh god, I'm going straight to hell. I'm so sorry. Terrible jokes and bad puns. Oh boy, yeah. But, yeah, let's, check out the video, shall we? Uh, let's go.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it so you don't have to.
I'm going
and
to
see
hell.
how we are still in the month of nostalgia.
I'm going straight to hell. Oh boy. Oh god, the
I figured we would
dislikes.
play a little game.
This
simply
video's
known
gonna be
as
disliked.
the Stephen King drinking game. Good old Stephen King. His prose are great, but his stories are crap. He has wonderful setups,
Yeah,
but
same
disappointing
generic
payoff.
stories.
He creates some great
Stories
characters,
will-
and fortunately, you get to see them over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And one of the best ways to see his continuing patterns is to look at the ass-numbingly long TV miniseries, It.
Oh, it was a TV miniseries, am I right? So yeah, they sort of turned it into a movie, like
Based
Storm
on
of
the
the
Stephen
Century,
King
something
book
like
of the
that?
same name, it is another one of those
Not quite
films
sure.
that loves to succumb to the
Maybe you know
melodramatic
more than I
cliches
do.
that always seems to make it into every one of his stories. But what really surprises me is how many people say they're actually afraid of this movie.
It
And
was a
that's why
freaky
I've
movie.
invented this drinking game to calm your nerves. There's a lot of movie to watch and a lot of booze to drink, so let's take a
A lot
look.
of alcohol. God bless
First of
alcohol.
all, take a shot if your Stephen King story takes place in Maine. Well, that didn't take long.
Take that
Our
shot.
story takes place in
Gonna
Maine,
be
where everybody has a checkered past,
gaining
boulders make
alcohol
up most of the
poison very
population,
soon.
and cheesy lightning effects reign supreme. In this particular town, we come across a girl who sees a rather unusual sight. Tim Curry! If that's not
Boy.
scary enough, it looks like he's coming from the Black Mass of Ronald McDonald.
Sponsored by McDonald's.
So the kid gets murdered as Mike, the only black man in Maine, notices that this is the sixth
Only
recent
black
child
man
killing.
in Maine.
So he calls up his old childhood
That's
friends to let
fucked
them
up.
know what's going on. He starts with Bill, who grew up into the back of a horse's ass.
This is Mike Hanlon, Bill, from Derry.
Yeah, this
This
story
causes
reminds
him to
me
have
a
a
lot of
flashback,
Stand
which
By
I'm
Me.
not going to have
Same
you drink
sort
to every time it happens, because if you did, you'd be
Style.
dead in the first 12 minutes.
Please, Bill, tell me a story.
Go bug somebody else, you little cootie. I don't feel so hot.
This is Bill as a young man, played by Jonathan Brandis. Piss off! He makes his brother Georgie a paper boat for him to sail outside. Thankfully, it's the sunniest rainy day in history, so he
Sunniest,
can go
rainiest
outside
day.
and enjoy it.
That's
That is,
true,
until the
yeah.
missing member of the insane clown
It can
posse
be
comes
sunny
to
and
join
rainy at the same time. It's shocking. It's very
all sorts of
crazy,
surprises
though.
down here. And balloons, too.
Oh, the scene is so
Oh,
creepy.
yeah. They float,
Ugh,
Georgie. They float.
he's taking a little bit more
I'm getting
pleasurable.
surprisingly aroused the more I talk
Yeah.
about how much they float.
Yeah, I mean,
You float too!
creepy. Ooh.
So the kid gets eaten by a sloppy dissolve effect as his sad brother
Sloppy
goes into
dissolve
his room feeling responsible. And it's fair to point out that this is
Oh, this
actually
bit's
a creepy
creepy.
scene here.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, that's creepy. And it starts
Book
bleeding,
starts to
I
have its
believe.
time
Yep.
of the month when Bill calls
Time
for his
of the
folks to
month.
see it. But the parents, surprisingly, don't seem to see the blood on the
Oh,
book.
God.
What were you doing in Georgie's room?
Nothing. Dad,
There's nothing wrong with
I
having
don't
your time on
want
the
you ever
off
coming
the
in here
month.
again, son.
It's a
Do you
natural-
understand?
How dare you try to mourn the loss of your
Bodily
one and only
function.
brother? Cut back to the present day as grown-up Bill decides it's time to go back to Maine.
Leave? Have you lost your mind? We're in the middle of making a movie.
They can replace me.
Yeah, if I saw Tim Curry in a clown suit, I'd probably leave production too. Oh, by the way, just to avoid future disappointment, let's take an early shot for a supernatural creature who's never given an explanation of exactly what it is or where exactly it came from.
Yeah, Jesus, just go for it.
Oh, that's good let down.
It's-
Meanwhile, we cut to another childhood friend named Ben, played by John Ritter.
Would you believe I
I'm
used
never
to be
gonna
fat?
look at the word "it" ever again.
You know, not just fat, but a regular
Never gonna
butterball.
ever look at the
Bet your
word
fern I
"it's"
was.
the same
We
ever
said
again,
we was
honestly.
kids. You bet your fern, but I was FAT.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, fat kids are hot. Tell me about your boy tits.
Oh god.
Hello?
Haystack, it's me, Mike.
This is your mother speaking.
Okay, these flashback transitions are getting a little silly.
Extreme close up!
Oh, Wayne's World, come on.
Listen, it's come back.
Ritter says no to his hoe on the go as he sits
Hoe
atop
on
a
the
tall
go.
building and ponders his past about being the new kid.
Welcome to Derry.
Thank you, Miss Douglas.
Oink, oink. What a porker.
Henry Bowers. You will stay for 1 hour after school every day this week. Now, report to the principal's office.
You're dead, fat boy.
You just friend
That I'm
him.
going to
aren't you
allow. Threatening his life is okay, but calling him a porker is simply going too far.
Yeah, that's my thought
So Ben meets
process.
up with
You
a
just
girl
friend
named
him. You
Beverly.
can't do
They say they hit it
that.
off pretty good, but the chorus
get
from
more in
Grease
trouble
has
for
other
that.
ideas.
I want to make sure you remember my name.
I'll remember, Henry. I'll remember.
How am I going to make sure?
Oh,
Oh,
fucking
I
hell.
almost forgot. Take a shot for the one-dimensional bullies that have
I
no
remember the
development
kids
or
doing that to
redeemable
me.
qualities whatsoever. Silly me. I thought I came across one that had some form of humanity.
These people are fucking disturbed.
Now,
Never allow a kid to pull a knife
so he
on you
loses the
in high
bullies as he
school
comes
or
across the
primary
kids
school,
from
whatever.
Stand By Me. I mean his
These people are
classroom.
fucked up,
And of course they
honestly.
become very good friends. But that doesn't help smooth things over with his stepfamily.
Hey, Mom, listen to this. Benny's in love. Give this back. Oh, Mom, Mommy, stop that. Benjamin, parents can stop that immediately, you young ruffian. I hate you. You're only here because Mom says it's our Christian duty.
Hey, take a shot for a heavy-handed
Damn.
slap against conservative fundamentalists. What? That doesn't count? Well, surely there's gotta be some overblown wine fest against Christianity. Oh, all right. I'll have to read another one of your stories to see that religion is.
Put the whiskey back in the bottle.
So Ben comes across some sort of sewer entrance where the evil clown is waiting for him.
Come here, son. You'll like it down there.
You'll never have to grow up.
Daddy?
Yes, my dear.
Spaceballs, really? What is it with him and putting fucking Spaceballs scenes and quotes?
So the clown doesn't really hurt him or anything.
You
He
can
just sort of
reference
points at him and
Spaceballs
calls
in
him
anything,
fat.
can't you?
What
Spaceballs
a
is such
jerk.
an incredible movie.
But we cut to yet another childhood friend who gets a call. Beverly, who's hitting the sack with a coworker in the 90s who's so successful that his mullet is almost reaching his knees.
I've got to go to Maine. That was Mike Hanlon.
Oh boy, this is the part where he slaps her. Yep, there we go.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Everybody in the
Damn.
Stephen King story is a
fucked up.
jackass except for the insecure poet and or loser. I think that calls for another shot.
Yeah, every Stephen King's fucking movie ever. Domestic
Why are you all
abuse.
spinning?
Well, that's
You
funny.
get
It's
into
just
bed.
fucked up.
No.
Then maybe you can leave this house in 2
No!
days instead of 2 weeks.
Love how the thing just bounced off of him.
Ever again!
Ouch.
You
Put some
need
common
me.
sense into his head, maybe.
Nice emoting there, guy.
Yeah.
Luckily, a cab comes to take her to our next flashback, where we see that Ben has left a poem for her.
What you got there?
Nothing.
Oh, she gets
Let me see
hit
that.
as well, I believe. She gets
You've been
slapped,
fooling around
from
with
what I
some boy?
remember. Here we go.
Sometimes I worry a lot.
Daddy, please.
Oh,
Sheesh, no matter what
Jesus.
scene this chick is in, she's always getting a slap in the face.
You get right the hell back here, baby.
This fucking movie. Every Stephen King movie, someone's always getting slapped.
Oh, of course!
Not that it's
Rednecks.
funny, it's
Can't
just
forget
fucked
about
up.
the rednecks. That calls for a shot. So she meets up with Ben and heads
It
over
sounded
to
like the Dumb and Dumber sound effect.
and heads
like
over to the rest of the
toilet.
geeks and outcasts who pretty much make up the only fucking decent people in this town.
It's the River Nile. And count them 4 sphinxes. Richie Tozia's my name. And doing voices is my game.
Hey look, Seth Green is playing a funny geek who spends most of his time doing voices. I'm far too tipsy to make a joke out of it.
Oh boy, yeah, just go
So
with
the
the
gang
flow.
gets together and starts making a dam. Why? Because it's fucking Maine, and by God, that's as exciting as it gets. Hell, there's even some famous jerk-off writers who write about it. That's how exciting it is up there. So we see Bev and her father back at home when alcoholic! They're always in Stephen King stories,
Alcohol,
alcoholic!
thank God. God bless this movie, alcohol.
So she go...
Yeah, you started to feel the effects.
So she goes to the bathroom sink where the clown snot bubble clogs up her drain and gets blood all over the place.
That was like a
just like before, the grown-ups don't see it.
Penis coming out of the sink there for a second. I was like, what the fuck was that?
Bloody boogers. Sorry, I think the alcohol started going to my...
Yeah, don't worry. Just let it sink. Let it just...
Camera's pretty.
Yeah,
Anyway,
the alcohol's taking effect. God bless alcohol. It cures everyone's problems.
I've got to go back to Derry.
Derry? Why would you want to go back to that dirty little town?
Because
There's
there's
nothing for
alcohol.
You there. There never was, Eddie.
Why is it these
Control his
people have a
mother.
talent for surrounding themselves with the
Hate them.
craziest fucking nutballs? Is anyone in this world outside the main characters likable? What kind of water are they drinking in Maine to make them such assholes? Insert, here's a big surprise, another flashback. So we find out that Eddie was the kid with the inhaler, as we see that his mother had a tight grip on him even back then.
See you tomorrow, Eddie.
Eddie has to rest tomorrow. I don't want you to play with him anymore. No good will come of it.
But Ma, they're my friends.
You don't need any friends, Eddie, except for your own ma.
Damn.
I think that's bad, you should see his brother.
Yeah.
Speaking of shower scenes,
Yeah.
Eddie gets a dude.
I hate
from
controllers'
the clown
mothers
as
who
he
tell
walks
you
in the
who you can be
shower room
friends
and finds
with and
out
all
that the
that.
showers in
That's
the gym
dangerous.
are stretching out.
Can't do that to your kids. Let
yeah,
kids
that's
be
about it.
kids.
Kid can leave
Start
whenever he
controlling
wants, but
everything they
doesn't,
do and
so
say, then you'll fuck up your children.
it's stupid.
I hate mothers like that.
Inconvenient, Eddie. Just hold on while I make a few adjustments.
Oh no! He's being attacked by the California Raisins! Come on! That stop motion was horrible!
Here I am, Wheezy. Oh, come
This
back
is
anytime.
creepy. He does the weird creepy face. Here we go. Yep. Creepy. This guy needs a Tic Tac. Or maybe a toothbrush. Jesus.
Then what happened? What, you're gonna just stop there? Seriously? Come on, fill us in! What, did he just stare at him awkwardly for the rest of the time?
Oh god. I guess we'll never know about it.
So we cut to the Seth Green kid all grown up when...
That was perfect
Oh,
timing,
hold
that
on,
music.
let me
Bugs
guess.
Bunny music.
The phone rings and our flashback happens!
Mike Hanlon from Derry.
Oh,
You see
Jesus.
Seth Green chased by the bullies again, big shock,
comfortable
and
here.
runs into the principal. So he's ordered to go downstairs and come back up with a mop. Come. But he's afraid because he's suddenly attacked by Teen Wolf. Wait, let me guess again. He turns into a killer clown, talks about his floating fetish, shows off his sharp teeth, and then does nothing.
I guess he feeds off fear, so the more
Why
scared
doesn't
they are,
just
the more
eat these
power
fucking
he has.
Kids? He's eating like half the other kids in the neighborhood. Why doesn't he just finish them off? I mean, what the hell is more important in his time? Rawr, I got you now, little boy! Oh my god, it's almost 3!
Yeah. I guess it's like a bit like Freddy Krueger, the more fear.
Alright, so you heard everybody else's backstory. Where the hell is this Mike guy who's making all these calls fit in? Well, guess what? The answer will be revealed in...
Oh, Jesus.
Another fucking flashback! It turns out Mike was the new kid on the block when, of course, he's attacked by the bullies. Are these the only fucking bullies in the town? Come on, kids, give the skinheads across the street a chance. They chase him over a fence as apparently they're immune to barbed wire as he comes across the usual gang of rejects. So they throw rocks to defend themselves as they discover that bullies apparently aren't immune to pain. They talk about how they've all seen the killer clown and discover that he might have been around for as long as 200
Pennywise.
years. This
Jesus.
literally gets the picture going as Mike's book comes to life just to make the kids piss their pants again.
I'll kill you all.
Damn.
I'll drive you crazy and I'll kill you all.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but first you gotta throw them!
Yeah.
Nightmare you ever had. I am your worst dream come true.
Why don't they just close the
I
book?
don't think you are.
Wouldn't they be able to
I
shut
can
them up
think
if
of
they just
something
slam
more
that thing
scarier.
shut?
Drive you crazy. I will kill you all. I'm every nightmare ever. I am your worst dream come true.
Yep, the Statue Critic's got it right there. Oh god, no. That song's really good
So they
though.
vow to destroy
Sounds
the
nice.
clown as Mike, back in the present, plans
Sounds
to make
radio
one more
song.
call.
People are scared of balloons.
So Mike
It's
makes his
the
last call
tension
to
that they're
Stan,
gonna
resulting
explode.
in, oh, blow me if you don't know.
Courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
They find out that Bev is really good with the slingshot, so she's the perfect candidate to shoot Silver into the monster. Friggin' Silver!
Jesus.
Mother's yours, baby.
What was it, a werewolf? A
Solid
vampire?
That's
What
just
the-
stuff in movies.
Yeah, that's just stuff in the movies. This is a killer clown that can turn himself into a werewolf. You know, real life. So they go into the sewer where they think the clown is. As it turns out, the bullies are there waiting.
Where you going? Down in the sewer, stupid. Yeah. And guess what? They're not coming back out.
Did you get that, audience? Okay, here we go.
So they go into the sewer to try and fight the monster. This is really suspenseful because I have no idea which characters are going to make it out alive except for all of them.
Now, before you die, I want you to think about every rock you threw.
Stop! The one-dimensional villain sees murder as the only option. That's in every
so
Stephen
fucked
King
up.
story. I said it called murder a shot.
He can't even pronounce his words correctly anymore. He's just seeking alcohol. Don't worry, the alcohol is...
Hello, friends. I'm invited to be the Benjamin boy. Are you tired? Run down. Let's deep pop out
Oh
and party.
god,
Are
I
you
miss
a
alcohol.
Okay. So this bright flashing light that's supposed to be the clown, I guess, comes in and kills two of the bully boys. Well, wait, you forgot to scare them for 2 months and brag about how things float. Oh well. One kid gets sucked through a pipe like Super Mario Brothers, and the other kid just turns into Billy Idol. Why doesn't he just kill that kid? Because he is a very stupid clown. Meanwhile, the kids hold hands because that apparently weakens the monster's power. It's like a Care Bear special, I guess.
Yeah, I
But Tim
guess.
Curry pops up and finally tries to kill one of these brats.
This is battery acid, you slime!
Yeah, battery acid melts your skin.
Yeah. This is what you were afraid
melt
of
the
the
skin
whole
off.
time, guys. An acrobatic stop-motion
Melts your
clown
skin
with a
off.
flashlight coming out
Don't
of
mess
his
around
head.
with battery
I'm
acid.
drunk, and even I'm not afraid of that. So they think they killed it and make a promise that if he's not dead, they'll come back to finish the job. Well, as years later, the clown is back, and we find Stan is just a filthy cheater.
Oh boy.
Oh no, she dropped her can of beer. Isn't that the drink that the movie Steel made famous?
Oh god.
Oh gee, that was nice of him, to leave the world's briefest suicide note. Did he really feel that would explain everything? Oh wait, before I go, I should probably explain the situation.
Yeah.
It...
Ran
And I
out-
can figure out the rest of it.
He ran out of blood probably.
So Mike and Bill reunite as Bill sees just how much has changed and how much has not changed.
Yours? Hey, I'm a bachelor, Bill. That's all I need.
Apparently running around talking about killer clowns scares the ladies off.
Yeah, I guess.
Meanwhile, Richie, that Seth Green kid, gets a different kind of welcome.
Come on up, Richie.
Zion!
It's those wonderful balloons where even though no one can see or feel them, it still makes people somehow flinch.
If you see...
Excuse me, sir. Do you have Prince Albert in a can? You do? Well, you better let the poor guy out.
Maybe it's because I'm
That's
drunk or
creepy.
something, but Tim Curry's a riot.
Yeah, he's
Were
an
people
amazing
really
performer.
scared by this guy? He's hilarious.
It's the scary
I don't
teeth
even think his
scenes,
scene
not
was supposed to be
these
this
scenes.
long. I think he just decided to stay on set and annoy everybody.
But I had to go. I had to get cleaned up.
Tim, you're done for the day. Can you please piss off?
Tell him I'll see him tonight.
We have a movie to film here, Tim, and you're really not helping. Please leave. Okay, we'll just shoot around you. Don't worry, people. He'll get punished. He's gonna be in Charlie's Angels soon enough.
Oh,
Both Eddie
Jesus.
and Beth have similar incidents where the clown pops up and scares them. But again, why doesn't he just kill them?
Like I said, maybe he feeds off fear. That's...
Boy, they're really banking on balloons being scary, aren't they?
Well, they
Do
are.
really think that's gonna threaten
When they
people?
pop,
If
they're
that's the
scary
case,
as hell.
maybe this movie was a stalker film.
Red.
Okay, so they meet up at a Chinese restaurant for a nice big reunion. Well, the camera circles around the table enough times to make you puke, though to be fair, maybe that's from this obnoxious drinking game. We see the only surviving bully is now in a mental institution, where he's transformed into Matlock.
Up here. You helped me once. Remember?
Oh, hey, it's a beautiful Tim Curry out tonight.
I am the shadow on the moon at night.
Oh, Jesus.
Your dreams to the brim with fright.
Meanwhile, back at the restaurant, we see that the fortune cookies have been replaced with Marilyn Manson's wind-up toys, which of course scares the living shit out of them. This leads them back to the library where they try to figure out what the heck's keeping Stan so long.
You tell that loser that
That
if
is
he
just a
hasn't
breakfast
left
club?
already, he's a dead man. We all managed to show up. I have never felt so much love in one room in my entire life. It's great to be back in Derry, breathing in that old Derry air.
Let me continue to be incredibly inappropriate as we build up to the obvious dramatic payoff in 3, 2, 1.
Stan is dead.
Oh no, we were assholes!
Yep.
Well, let's mourn his loss with another flashback.
He said he didn't mean to go into that house, but this voice
Oh,
kept
boy.
whispering to him.
Okay, I must really be gone because that looks like a mummy.
It is a mummy,
Seriously?
it does.
We're using mummies now? This isn't a Stephen King movie, it's an Abbott and Costello knockoff!
He's trapped. The only thing he could think of to do was to hold his bird book out in front of him like a shield and say as loud as he could the names of all the birds he could remember.
Okay.
Hold his bird book out in front of him like a shield and say as loud as he could the names of all the birds he could remember.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Speckled grouse, Baltimore Oriole, gray egret, hammering, woodpecker, brown thrush.
Oh, well, and it worked? What the hell? What sense does that make?
Maybe
What,
it
are
gave
mummies
him
just
strength?
allergic to the sound of birds' names? European swallow!
I hadn't thought of it until just now, I swear. He said, I looked into its deadlights, and I wanted to be there.
Deadlights.
Okay, what is up with these stupid sound effects whenever there's a flashback? Will any sound effects do? I looked into his deadlights. You looked into his deadlights?
Oh yeah,
looked into
sound
his
effects are
deadlights.
pretty good.
I sure got something here. Anybody else?
Oh my god, more balloons!
Balloons.
More balloons! Hide your family! Get down, balloons! Ah! Seriously, will you knock it off? There's balloons everywhere in this picture. They're not frightening.
You'll never look at a
come
balloon
on,
as the same
when is a balloon
ever
ever
again.
gonna look intimidating?
Well, they're pretty scary. I mean, if it just follows you, I guess. Oh god. Oh yeah, that's creepy. Just. That's creepy. Hey. Oh yeah, you're gonna need that.
So the scariest fun
It's not really
come
gonna
out
help
as
you.
they see Stan's
You're on
head is
your own.
inside. This
Jesus
would be
abandoned
somewhat
you a long
scary
time ago.
until...
Sorry I'm late. Well, let's see who's here. Richie, you still here? We never expected you to stick around. Nice nose job. No one would ever suspect.
Hey, you're gonna
Great
need
stuff.
something stronger.
Put on a little weight, huh? Wheezy, how's your sex life? What's your sex life?
This is turning into a stand-up routine at Jeffrey Dahmer's house.
We all float down here, and you will too. They all float!
So I guess they don't find the talking head that funny, and they get the hell out of there. Meanwhile, we see the bully escape from the mental hospital by...
But
It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Huh? It's supposed to be scary? No, it's not. It's supposed to be funny. It's a dog dressed up as a clown in slow motion. Huh? That was really supposed to be scary?
no, that drunken talk.
Well, it's not. It's not. So after that... Okay. They figure out that the clown attacks or feeds, if you will, on people every 30 years.
Yeah.
Oh, and apparently the whole entire town is in on it too. How do they know that? Get this. Because when Bev was a girl getting beat up once, an old man went back inside. Yeah. Because that one dick cheese didn't help her, that apparently means the whole town is crazy.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. He just turned around and went inside. That was when it really hit me. There was something terribly wrong in Derry, with Derry.
That's a pretty shitty
Isn't it obvious? Well, anyway, Matlock attacks Mike, but they manage to fight him off and kill him. They bring Mike to a hospital as Bev starts to analyze the situation.
Why is it doing this? Why does it hate?
Because
Why
it's
is
in
it
its nature.
so mean?
You would think that a psychotic killing clown would be a little nicer.
Yeah, I mean, what do you
How
think
could
it's
I
gonna
be
do?
so
Fucking raise a
blind?
family?
You see it now.
It's evil incarnate.
You're not blind anymore,
It's
man.
madness.
Boy, this chick really gets around, doesn't she? I mean, I think she's literally felt up every single person in this group. I can
Yeah.
see why they hung out with her. She's easier to get into than an art college.
Damn.
Can't trust anyone.
If anybody asks, party got out of hand, dancing on the table, you took a fall.
If you don't say that, we'll break your legs.
Well, that's great. And how are you gonna explain the dead escaped mental patient? You're not seriously suggesting you walk out of here and leave him lying there.
You're not
I guess you can cover it up, bury him or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm suggesting.
Why don't you call the police?
This whole town is in some way, all of them.
Bill's right.
Really? We're still on this? Because one old fart went in and jerked off, that means the entire town is crazy? Here's an idea. You're all seeing killer clowns. Maybe you're crazy. Did that ever occur to you, you crazy sacks of crazy? So they all decide to go back into the sewer and kill this thing once and for all. So what kind of weapons are they bringing, you think?
I don't suppose anybody thought to bring anything really useful like a machine gun.
I brought this. It's the only thing I saved from those days.
Oh,
Silver
that's great. They're bringing a
pellets
slingshot.
or
They can either
bullets
bring a
or-
machine gun or a slingshot. Rambo or Dennis the Menace. You're going down, Mr. Wilson. Pew, pew, pew.
Come on. Guys, what the hell are you gonna do now? Sing Kumbaya?
Yeah.
Wake up. Take a breath. You smell that? That's death.
You hear the wind? That's death. You feel the ground? That's death. You feel the itching in the back of your head? That's probably a mosquito. Mosquito of death! So they make their way down to the retired Star Trek set where Bill's wife happens to be trapped in the cave.
set.
Yeah, apparently
Come
she was
on.
heading to Maine to bring her husband back and the clown got her. Which is pointless seeing how he can take on any form, but I digress. As they get to the heart of the sewer, they finally see the monster for what he really is.
Yep, the sweet alien spider thing.
What? 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 We waited 3 fucking hours for that! You can't be serious! You can't be serious! If I heard
Oh,
that
it's
a movie
serious.
called It was just building up to a big silly monster, I think this would have been a better payoff! I mean, seriously? Seriously? My god. So you're telling me this whole fucking time we were building up to... spiders! A giant legion of spiders! God damn it, Dr. Smith! This is really what you and Stephen King find frightening? Yes, my dream is finally realized. What smells like urinated whiskey? Oh, it's me. I've been playing the Stephen King drinking game. Oh, good God, man! That's been known to kill people! Hey, you know what else has been known
Alcohol
to kill
poisoning
people?
is gonna
I'll tell
happen.
you. This! That's right. Hold still. I'm gonna shoot all 5 of you. You're going down, Spider-Man! Not the superhero, the you! Woo! I'll just shoot myself out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better run. So yeah, they're fighting a giant spider, an unbelievably fake-looking one too. They all start to get sucked into its deadlights until Eddie has an idea.
This is battery acid. Now you disappear.
Well, that was a stupid idea, guy. Maybe that machine gun theory would have worked after all. So Eddie gets killed, but luckily Bev shoots it in the glowing ball sack that seems to kill it. Oh wait, no, sorry. They tip it over like a cow first, and then they rip its heart out. Truly, this was a battle of wits. So they all go back home to their normal selves, except for Bill's wife, who seems to be in a zombie-like state because of the giant spider. But somehow riding downhill on a bike seems to make her better.
Traumatizing her with more trauma. I guess that works.
A character that had like 2 scenes, a few lines of dialogue, and barely any presence. She's gonna be okay. Yeah, I know you're all on the edge of your seats about that, but yeah, she's gonna be okay now. So, of course, all that build-up leads to an unbelievable letdown, which is the ultimate staple of Stephen King, which means that gives us our very last shot.
Oh, Jesus.
This movie sucks!
Wow, I
mean, the
didn't
stuff with
think
the
it was
kids
bad.
is tolerable because the kids themselves are actually pretty good actors, and of course Tim Curry's a lot of fun, but half the adults are just terrible. The plot makes no sense, it's melodramatic as hell, and it all suffers from those Stephen King stereotypes we've seen a bajillion times before.
But it's a good movie,
Plus,
it's respectable.
what's with all the balloons? They're not scary! Why do they keep thinking they're scary? What were they, high?
Maybe
seriously,
if they pop,
who in
the
the
explosion
right mind
sound?
would ever think a balloon is
God. Is he gonna use the same fucking footage again? Yep, here we go. Googly eyes.
Hey, Critic, I got a new script here. Tell me what you think.
Let me guess, he walks in and it's a balloon with Nostalgia Critic's face. With the eyes or a little beard or something. Oh, I guess not. Balloons. Can you imagine if he actually spelled balloons wrong? That'd be hilarious. Oh boy. Spaceballs, of course.
Why is it so mean?
Because it's a killer clown. What the hell do you expect? Fucking roses and unicorns. Yeah, I mean, that was very fascinating to see the Nostalgia Critic's opinion on it. God, I'm so sorry. Oh God, please, no more. I am so sorry. The dislike ratio on this video is gonna be overly extremed. Yeah, I mean, this was, I'm trying to not use the word it now in my sentences. That's very fucking tricky. You have no idea. This was, this movie was, I found it good. So, I know it's cheesy in some parts, and it was goofy. And, you know, I mean, it was the same cliche Stephen King sort of stuff, like Stand By Me, you know, same type, and cheesiness. But, you know what, this was good. I enjoyed this. It creeped me out. The clown creeped me out, you know. I mean, it was creepy. It was scary. I mean, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. But I thought Stephen King's It movie was very fascinating, very enduring, very quite lovely. I mean, it was different. I mean, every time you think of a clown, you think of the clown It. You know, that's just what you think of. Every time you think of a clown, a scary clown, you keep thinking of the clown It from the movie. You know, you don't think of any other clown than Pennywise, so to speak. Yeah, this was very good. I enjoyed this Nostalgia Critics review, but I gotta disagree with him. Yeah, I agree with the fact that it is cheesy. Yes, it is cliche with the balloons coming out and what's so scary about balloons and stuff like that. I agree with him on all these parts and the bad sort of special effects. Yeah, I agree. And the story's cliche. Yes, I agree. But it's a respectable movie, and you know Stephen King's It movie is known for being very popular. But yeah, I think that's everything I have to say about this movie. You have no idea how hard I'm trying not to say the word "it" right now. But if you like this video, make sure to give a like and make sure to subscribe and comment down below if you like my content. Make sure to yeah, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.